Hi, it's Lynne Golodner, and welcome to the Make Meaning podcast. I'm a writer and entrepreneur, and through decades of writing articles for magazines and newspapers and authoring books, I've learned that we succeed through inspiration from storytelling and deep and mutually beneficial relationships. This show began in 2018 after my father was diagnosed with a terminal illness, and I wanted a way to capture his stories and record his insights. It's grown since then to share stories of how people around the world make meaning from very ordinary pursuits. Now I focus on sharing the stories of writers, authors, and those in the world of publishing to learn how and why we create stories that help us make meaning from the mundane. I'm a former journalist and marketing entrepreneur, and I've been teaching writing for more than 2 decades. As a writing coach, I help authors build their brands and share their words. If you'd like to write with me, check out my offerings at lynnegolodner.com. And you'll find more episodes of this podcast at makemeaning.org, as well as on every podcast platform you can think of. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star review at Apple Podcasts. Thank you for tuning in to the Make Meaning podcast. Now, on to the show. Hey everyone, it's Lynn. I'm excited to announce that my novel, Woman of Valor, is making its debut September 26, 2023. It would make me so happy if you might pre-order your own copy or email me at lynn@yourppl.com if you'd like to be added to our street team or attend the virtual launch party. This is a novel with a strong female lead. There's lots of romance, deep love, but also betrayal and abuse, and ultimately resolution. And if you're curious about the Orthodox Jewish world, you'll learn a lot from this story. I can't wait to tell you more about it. Stay tuned for our September 8th episode, which will tell you all about Woman of Valor, and I hope to include you in all of our book celebrations. Diane Gottlieb is a one-of-a-kind woman and author whom I've had the delight to work with in a variety of contexts. She's also a leader in championing the voices of midlife women, which I love. Diane's writing has appeared in River Teeth, HuffPost, SmokeLong Quarterly, Barrel House, The Rumpus, Hippocampus, and 100-Word Story, and she won the Tiferet 2021 Writing Contest in Nonfiction. Diane was a finalist in SmokeLong Quarterly's 2022 Micro Contest and is a 2023 nominee for Best of the Net and 2-time nominee for 2023 Best Microfiction. Diane earned 3 master's degrees and is the editor of Awakenings, Stories of Body and Consciousness, which is due out in October of 2023. She also serves as the prose and creative nonfiction editor of Emerge Literary Journal. Diane, welcome to the Make Meaning podcast.
Thank you for having me, Lynn.
It's nice to see your face and to connect and really give you some attention to your amazing writing. So I'm super excited to share you with the world. Although you don't need me for that. You're so good at putting yourself out there, building a community around writing. Maybe I should start with that and just ask you, how did that even begin? I mean, you have so many followers. You have such a community of amazing, warm, people who really just lift each other up. How did you create that?
Okay, so I think it's just who I am. I went to graduate school right after college for social work. I've always had a call to lift up the underdog. My favorite cartoon was Underdog when I was a kid. And so I when I went to graduate school much later for my MFA, I graduated at 58. I wanted to raise up voices of women over 50. So while I was in school, I started a blog called Woman Pause. It was my response to menopause. And
love it.
I started writing things that might be of interest to women it's called Women Over 50 Who Are Reinventing Ourselves. Mm-hmm. And I started interviewing amazing women and just connecting. And I love, my favorite social media is Twitter. And I've made so many wonderful friends on Twitter. And I also had some help, my social media. So my social media skill, Twitter was always good, but the others were not as much. And I hired the amazing Lynne Golodner to get me started on social and figure out my brand and how to present what I want to show the world. And it was so helpful. So thank you.
I loved working with you. And I want to say, little mutual admiration society, but I teach an author brand and marketing mastermind. And the lesson we just did the other day was about social media. And, writers by and large are introverts. And so there are a lot of people who are like, ugh, do I have to get onto social? Like, why do I have to do that? And so I was trying to impress upon them that if you choose one platform that feels comfortable to you and maybe even fun, like that can be enough. And so I actually mentioned you and Twitter and how like you just really love Twitter and it's so easy for you and you have great engagement. And so, yeah, you came up, your ears might've been burning.
Oh, thank you. Oh, and everybody, I'm like 40 away from 5,000 followers. So hopefully by the time you hear this, I'll need your help getting to 6,000.
Yes.
So follow me.
Follow Diane Gottlieb everywhere, but on Twitter especially. Okay, so I'd love to hear about your earliest memory of writing. Are you someone who was always writing, always noticing? Tell me a little bit about the little girl that you were.
Okay, so the little girl that I was very lonely. I had two much older sisters, and we had a family with issues like so many, and my mother was not all that available for me. So writing from a very young age was therapy.
Yeah.
And I used to write poems I wrote the same poem over again. It was there was a little deer in the forest. Her mother died. She was all alone. There was a baby elephant in the jungle. Her mother died. She was all alone.
So what do you think you were trying to say?
Help me, somebody.
Aww.
Actually, no one really did.
Okay.
Makes me question my teachers, but back in the day, I guess people just, didn't step in certain ways, but the writing itself helped me. So I knew very early on that I would be okay. And then I would be able to help myself.
Yeah. And it's interesting that you pursued social work and then writing. And it seems like it's continued to be therapeutic for you throughout your career in a lot of ways.
Oh, so much. It's therapeutic, like when I'm struggling with something, but it's also therapeutic in that, like, if I have a few days stretch where I am not writing, I am off.
Yeah, I get that.
All together in everything I do. So it's really something I need to do for my health, for my well-being.
Yeah. So, you've amassed quite a list of accomplishments, and I'm super impressed. I'm wondering if there's an award or a publication that you are most excited about and why?
So I just received word recently that one of my pieces is going to be in the 2023 Best Microfiction Anthology.
Amazing.
And just yesterday that another piece was long listed for, there's a big contest in England called Bath Flash Fiction. Long listed for that. Shortlist comes out next week, and it's going to be in that anthology.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
You said one, but I can't.
That's okay. I just wanted
a HuffPost personal. I got a lot of love for, and I'm not responsible for the title, but here it is. I didn't have sex for almost a decade. Here's what I learned when I finally did. So I joke with the editor, it should be called HuffPost Very Personal. And, probably the most exciting for me is that I have a nonfiction piece coming out in March in River Teeth, which is a journal. I'm just like, wow, I'm pinching myself. So.
Yeah. Well, we're going to put all the links in the show notes so people can read your work. And that's amazing. Congratulations on all of these things and more to come. I want to hear about awakenings, stories of body and consciousness. So tell me about what it is and how did you come to be the editor? I want to hear all about it.
Okay, so I am the editor, the fiction, the prose it's called, and CNF editor of a small, wonderful literary journal called Emerge Literary Journal. And Emerge is also a small press.
Okay.
And I'm very close to the editor-in-chief, Ariana, and we both have had body image issues throughout our lives. And she said she does a bunch of anthologies, and she publishes them. And she said she wanted to do an anthology on body stories. So, body image, it could be weight. I mean, that's where many people go to first, but it can be, we're getting a lot of stories about people with a scar or a disfigurement or a disability, or people who have grown up gender confused and are finding themselves now. So it runs the gamut, and they're flash pieces, they're creative nonfiction, and the window closes March 15th for subs, but hopefully, I mean, the stuff coming in is really, really strong, and I'm very excited about it.
Awesome. That is super cool. So yeah, tell me more about how you got into this editor position at Emerge.
Twitter. Yeah. Well, I was the lead editor for creative nonfiction of Lunch Ticket when I was in school. And I also was an editor for 2 nonfiction prize. I don't even remember which ones they were. 2 nonfiction prize categories. And I wanted to get back into working on a journal. I really enjoy that. And I saw a call for a lead editor for prose nonfiction on Twitter, and I answered it, and Ariana and I hit it off, and she picked me.
Nice.
I am. Yeah.
That's so nice. So what do you look for, and what do you love about curating content for the journal?
I love what people send in. I love how varied the stories are. And I love doing fiction and nonfiction. This is my first editorial kind of gig as a fiction person. And, I love that. We have a cap of 750 words. I'm in love with flash.
Yeah, you love it. Yeah.
I do. And many of our pieces are quite a bit shorter than that.
Okay.
We have a bunch of micros. I look for anything that moves me. It can make me sad. It can make me happy. I'm in a different space when I finish reading than when I start.
Okay. So I'm sure that your writing has evolved and changed throughout your career, throughout your life, both based on, personal situations, but also as you hone your craft and work on your voice and developing your writing. So how do you see your writing as different today than it might have been a decade ago or 2 decades or longer? Can you even reflect on that and see like how far you've come too?
Yeah, I've come a long way.
Yeah.
It's so exciting to me. I know, like a lot of writers, when they read something amazing by somebody else, that they have a mixture of awe and wow, and also intimidated, like I'll never get there. And to me, it's always a challenge, like to keep getting better and to keep getting better. And I'm a firm believer in the saying, it takes a village.
Yeah.
So I have people read my work. I take suggestions. I am always in a class on Zoom of one sort of another.
Yeah.
And I always look to grow.
Love that.
So, yeah.
So important. And it's, and you get to decide what feedback resonates and what doesn't. And,
Absolutely.
I
ask, it's very important to only ask from people who get you.
Yeah. I actually just stepped away from a writers group recently because I just felt like that chemistry wasn't there, and they're lovely people and nice writers. But it wasn't clicking, and I think that's important to know that and to have that power for sure.
It is.
So I was lucky enough to be behind the curtain with you for a number of months. And so I'm very curious about your book projects. I know that there was a nonfiction book and a novel in process when we were working together. So I need to hear updates. What's the status on both?
They've changed. In my novel, I'm still querying. I'm actually going to a pitch fest in New York in March.
Okay.
And I've gotten quite a few full manuscript requests, but no bites yet on, nobody wants to represent it. So I feel like I'm going to this pitch quest, and I did send the novel to somebody else who I really, really trust, who does novel work with people, and he gave me some recommendations for changes. So if no one bites at my pitch fest, I'm gonna revisit and make those changes and see what happens. Nonfiction, I kind of tabled I was going to do a book on 5 ex-felons and me, and it was a narrative nonfiction / memoir. I haven't been able to find the structure for that. The juice is running out of it for now, so I'm putting that aside. But I'm working on two new things: a collection of like a memoir and essays, a novella and flash.
Amazing. Very cool. I have a guest on an episode of the Make Meaning podcast, Christopher Locke, who is a good friend of mine who went to Goddard College with me for the MFA. He did, I want to say it's a memoir and essays. Maybe it's an essay collection, but I'm going to send you the title because it's just amazing. And so, yeah, it's good to be in good company. It was just, I couldn't put it down.
No, and I'd love to read like things, to learn from.
Yeah. So I just want to make a plug. I don't think I've told you, but I this year have launched my own publishing imprint called Scotia Road Books. And it is a hybrid press for women over 40 with strong voices that need to be heard. And so we're taking submissions for fiction, narrative, nonfiction, and memoir to be published in the fall of 2024 and beyond. So if that's of interest, it's hybrid, it's not traditional. I get it.
That stuff too. And
I will.
And I'll retweet it.
I will. Thank you to all your people, Yay. That's amazing. So I know that you love revision. I wanted to talk a little bit about that because, when I teach writing, I always talk about how I believe that writing is 80% revision. And my students always ask, like, how do you know when a piece is finished? So I wanted to pose that question to you. I wanted to hear about why you love revision so much, and then how you come to that understanding of like, this piece is done. So tell me a little bit about that.
It's easier for me to talk about why I love revision. I'll start there.
Okay.
It's just fun. It's like, so I like getting the words down, the ideas down, but then I like making them better.
Yeah.
I love fixing a sentence. I love the thesaurus is my best friend. I love finding the right word and the word combinations. And to me, it's just, that's taking the ideas and painting with an artistic brush, That's where the beauty is to me in revision. Knowing when a piece is finished, it's kind of like a feeling. I do ask people for feedback, and sometimes I think something's finished and it is for then, and then I revisit it a few months, a few years later, and there are things to switch up and change up. So and
it is
ever really finished.
I know.
It's fine. Life's a process, right? So,
yeah. And we're just chronicling our experiences, I mean, I think that is a hard question. Like there are times that I'm convinced this is a set piece. It's great. It's done. And then somebody that I really respect and admire gives me insights and I'm like, oh my God, there's so much more to do.
Right.
But I also think that there does come a time where other people can still give you feedback, but you're like, no, I think we're good. I think I'm happy with this as it is,
I think that's so important that, okay, that might change the piece, but in my mind, it may not make it better. And it's not necessarily what I wanted to say. And then I'm done,
Yeah. I think if you have a goal for the piece, like if you know what you want to do, it's easier to know when it's finished. If you're not sure yet, like what shape this is taking or what message you want to send, I think it's harder to know when it's finished. Yeah.
It probably isn't then, right?
Right. Yeah. If you don't know, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Okay. So what is next for you? Do you have like writing goals right now and, or a big project you're working on? Tell me a little bit about what's on the horizon.
So I hope what's next is that I get an amazing agent and amazing publishing deal. So for my novel.
Yes.
And in terms of writing, just, I want to keep writing the essays for this memoir and essays and the flash pieces, and then just keep sending out little flashes here and there and essays and interviewing amazing women over 50. And I do a lot of book reviews too. So that's another way I like to lift voices. If I love a book or if I love an author and I know they have something coming out, I'll ask them for an advanced reader's copy. And, I love to get the word out on stuff that I enjoy.
I have noticed that by and large, the author community is so generous. People are always promoting their friends' books and, what they read that they loved. And it's just, I love seeing that because it's so nice. It's like everybody helps each other out, lifts each other up. And it's a really beautiful thing to not see it as a competitive space necessarily, but as a supportive community.
Yeah. Like a scarcity mindset is poison.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a lie. It's like,
it is.
Why would you think that? Like you can get published, I can get published. We can all enjoy each other's words, know?
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Just spend a day on Submittable and see how many different places want your writing. It's like, it's endless,
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, as we near the end of our conversation, I would love to hear what advice you might offer to new writers who are listening into this episode.
Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. However it works for you. I like to write a little every day if I can, but however works for you, don't give up. You're going to get better. Read. Try and emulate what you read. Take classes. It's always a learning experience. There's always more to learn and more room to grow. And good luck.
And make friends with other writers, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome. Diane, it's so great to have you on the Make Meaning podcast. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you. It's wonderful. Thanks so much for the opportunity, Lynn.
Thanks for listening to the Make Meaning podcast with Lynne Golodner. You can find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. If you like what you've heard, subscribe and share this episode with the meaningful people in your world. And please leave us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast platform. You can learn more at makemeaning.org or lynnegolodner.com.